Okay, we're here to welcome Verian and Raylie here from Paraguay to share about what God's doing through YWAM and all the cool things happening in their life. Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning. How are you guys? Yes. Imagine me being from Paraguay. We looked yesterday, and it was a difference from what it feels like here to what it feels like in Paraguay, I think of 150 degrees. So, so if we would have jumped in a plane yesterday and go to Paraguay and would have gotten out of the plane in Paraguay, it would have been a difference of 150 degrees. So, yeah, so it's really hot there now, the same as it's really cold here right now. So, yes. So we just want to share again what God has been up to the last year. We prepared a little presentation so that you guys also have a better idea what we're doing and where exactly we are. So if you want to start with that thing, or you want to do that after? Okay, there you go. Okay, I don't think we ever show that where Paraguay exactly is. And I know when I came to the U.S. the first time, people asked me what state it is in. So I just want to make clear that everybody here knows we are not in the U.S. Paraguay is a country, and it's in a different continent. So we're in South America, and in the middle. So we're next to Brazil, Bolivia, and Argentina. We are landlocked. We are in the middle of South America. Paraguay is called the heart of South America. And if you cannot see it really good here, but exactly in the middle of Paraguay, it is divided by a river. And then on the north part of Paraguay is what we call the Chaco. That's where I'm from, and it's really dry, and it's more like desert. And in the south of Paraguay, we have a tropical. So it is like it's divided by a river. One side we have desert, and the other side we have really tropical.
It's not sand.
Huh?
It's not sand.
The north.
Yeah, it's just dry. It's not.
Yeah, but it's not a tropical desert.
But it's.
Well, it feels like a desert, yeah. It is just as hot as in the desert. But yes, it's not just sand. There are trees and everything, but it's just way drier than in the north, and it's not as tropical. So the heat there is really dry. As to in the south, it is really humid. So yeah, just so you guys have a little bit of an idea where we actually are. And then Asunción, the capital of Paraguay, it is, I kind of want to show it, but it's a little hard here. But it's like in the bottom where we border with Argentina, in the middle of Paraguay. Somewhere like that. It's a little hard to explain, but that's where we live, yeah. Can you go to the next one? There you go, okay.
So every year we have between 2 or 3 discipleship schools that we do, and then we also have 2 Bible schools that we do, and we have several leadership track schools and a bunch of other things. So this was our January, right? Our January, and we had in this picture one of our discipleship schools, a leadership school, and then later came a Bible school. So this is and then also a bunch of our staff that work on the base every day. So this is a picture of like approximately how many people we have on the base, like while our schools are running. And this school, was it this school or the last one? We actually, what was really cool is normally we get like 4 girls to every 1 guy that come to the schools, but one of our latest schools, we had like 3 girls and like over 20 guys, which was really cool for us.
Yeah, so this one, it was last year in January, and it was the biggest school we had so far. We had 36 students in our training school, plus another, I think, around 14 in the leadership track. So by then, our base is pretty much filled up. So we have a whole block, but it's with staff and all the students and everyone included, there were probably around 60 to 80 people there that living there. So it seems like a big place, our base, but if you have 80 people there, then it doesn't seem as big anymore, and everybody runs everybody over. So yeah. Can you go to the next one? Okay. So this is, we send all our schools, we send them on outreach. So the schools is divided in 2 parts. The training school, so 3 months where they are in Asuncion at our base, and then 2 months where they go on outreach, like a mission trip. And so we have the vision to reach all Paraguay, so we always send teams to Paraguay as well, to other nations. But this picture, for example, it is in Paraguay, and one of the biggest open doors we have in Paraguay is the middle and high schools. So it has been, since we started with YOM, the middle and high schools, they've been such a big open door for us to go in and minister. And it's not normal, since Paraguay is considered a Catholic country, and it's 94% Catholic. So for them, so all of these public schools are all Catholic schools. So for them to open their doors to us and let us minister, let us preach the gospel, let us pray for the sick and everything, it is not normal. But the Lord has been really, really good to us. And so this is on one of our outreaches where they went to a school and where they were ministering. So a lot of times it happens that they go for a whole week, they just go from one school to another. Morning one school, afternoon another school. So they just go from school to school, because the people see that is really good for the students, for the kids. So they even just call them and ask them if they can come. So this was one of them outreaches, yeah. Can you go to the next one? Yeah. So what we also do is, or what we started last year actually, we do YOM tours. So these are like weekend tours where we go as staff and some students, where we go to a specific place in Paraguay, and where we have like an open night, a service night, where we have a little outreach, but it's just like for 2 to 3 or 4 days max. So this was our first one, and the thing that we're holding in our hands, we call it chipa. So it's a traditional Paraguayan food. It's like a cheese bread, sort of. Really dense cheese bread. But if you ever go to Paraguay, this you will find on every single corner, on every stoplight. They have their big baskets on top of their head full of chipa, and they say, chipa cocido. And that's how they walk around. They sell them all. So yeah, this is one of our trips, and that was the chipa. Can you go to the next one? Yeah.
So another thing, okay, I'll break it down a little bit. So for those who don't know, we have our main school, which is our discipleship training school. This one is like, we do these ones the most often. These you'll find in every YWAM base. So this is like a discipleship school where we have classes every week. It changes. We have speakers come in and they teach about like gifts of the Spirit, Holy Spirit, Father Heart of God, like all kinds of different topics. And then they also learn how to share the gospel, and they go through like healing, and they do like how to teach the gospel like through sports or other things. And then they also do like outreaches and a bunch of service, and that's for the first 3 months. And then the last 2 months they actually go to other countries and also other places in Paraguay, and they do outreaches and they put these things into action. And then our Bible school is 3 months, and in those 3 months they go through the whole Bible and they do an inductive study of the Bible. And then we have our leadership school, which teaches them how to work with local churches, how to like do the work in the churches, and also like through our base we teach them more. And part of our YWAM base, we have something called Maima Paraguay, which is like a part of it, and our goal is to reach all of Paraguay. So through Maima, we work with all the local churches, and we do like youth groups and things for schools and all kinds of different things. So this is like some of the stuff we have running. And also, as part of Maima, we work with local churches, and we want to partner with them for their ministry. And so there's a local church in our city that actually travels and does these youth nights. They call them Discover Nights, and they invite a whole bunch of youth, and then they have like worship and games and like a little message. And this last year, Verian was able to speak at several of these and do the ministering night. And so this is a picture at one of the nights where Verian got to share, and we got to go and just hang out with the kids.
Yeah, so this is in the Chaco. This is one of the towns actually in the town where I grew up in. Yeah. Can you go to the next one? Oh, also we had, last time we were here, we were talking about this, that we were going to do our first youth camp. Probably not a lot of you remember, but we did our first youth camp last year in July. It was a whole struggle because we had half of the youth camp, half of the kids, they came from Brazil. And when they came to the border, they stopped him. They wouldn't let him through. So we had a whole schedule for the day of arrival, but they just didn't show up. So we had a Paraguayan half there, but we didn't have the Brazilian half there. So we didn't want to start because we wanted to do it with everyone together. But then the Paraguayan kids, they were all confused because we weren't doing anything. So it was like the first day actually, I got really frustrated because I was leading the camp. And I remember I was asking God, what is going on here? This is our first camp. It was supposed to work nice. And, and God asked me, do you want to control the camp or do you want me to do it? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you do it. and actually, so they arrived late at night that day. We did some things with the Paraguayan kids. And then we officially started our camp the next day. But at the end of the camp, we asked the kids and everybody that came, like, what they learned, what was good about the camp. And all of them said that they had been to many camps, but they've never been to a camp where they felt the presence of God that strong as there. So for us, it was like, okay, it doesn't matter if the schedule is through the roof, if the games don't work like they're supposed to work, if that's what the kids get, the presence of God, then that's all what we wanted, that's all what we needed. So we had, I think, 34 kids, plus the Brazilian kids came with church staff, so there was another like 8 in there, and then all our staff, I think there was around 60 people in total that were participating in the camp and working and everything. So it was amazing, yeah. Okay, so, so this was our July discipleship school. This was where she said that we had way more guys than girls. That is not normal, not in YOM and not anywhere in missions. There's all the ratios always that the girls or women are way more than guys. So here, this DTS, we were really surprised, but yes, we did have a lot more guys than girls. It was an amazing school. It was very, I would say, very different because they came from so many different parts of Paraguay. And then you put them in a room from one night to another, and they're supposed to live together and not fight each other. And that is not always easy. So all our staff and everyone, they sleep in the dorms of the students. So the staff is kind of like the peacemakers in the room, or they try to be. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does work. But yeah, this was our July school. We had around 24 students, I think. Yeah, 24. And they had their graduation in December, actually. So they went out to different parts of Paraguay. Actually, funny story. Yes? Oh, that building. Oh, good question. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So this is one of our government buildings. So we have an old downtown and a new downtown in Asunción, our capital. So this is an older government building in Asunción. So it's from the older days, yeah. Yes. What exactly it's called, I don't know. I'm not really good about that, with that. I'm sorry. So one story from their outreach, they went to a place that's on top of Paraguay, so it's all the way on top, with like the border with Brazil, and they were right next to a river, so they were preaching the gospel there, and some people wanted to get baptized. So they were like, okay, we have a river here, we're going to baptize you. So they go into the river, and one of the girls that's baptizing this woman, she gets bitten by a piranha on her toe while she is baptizing this lady. So her toe starts bleeding, they baptize her, they get out, and afterwards they fish a piranha and they eat him, just to show them that they're not in control. So yeah, so there are many really, really funny stories. Another town that they went to, if they knew it or not, I don't know if they knew, but they mostly eat donkey there because there are no cows there. There are just hundreds and hundreds of donkeys. It's crazy. And so they eat donkey as their protein meat. They eat chicken and donkey. It's not good. Yeah. Can you go to the next one? Yeah.
So, in August this last year, Varian and I actually went to Mexico. So for those who don't know, Varian grew up in a Mennonite community, and their first language is called Plattdeutsch. It's like Low German. And we heard from the Lord last year that we were to do the first ever Plattdeutsch and English discipleship school in the town where Varian grew up. So we were like, okay, well, we need to have students for this. And there's a church, a Mennonite church in Mexico that has a lot of youth. And so we messaged them. We had never met any of them, but we messaged them and said, hey, do you mind if we come, share at the church, get to know the young people? And they invited us. So this is one of the young couples that we met while we were in Mexico. This little cafe we're in is like on top of one of the mountains in Mexico. And we just got to share with them and minister to them and also just invite them, get to know them a little bit. And you'll see in one of the later slides, actually we had a student come from Mexico for our school. So.
Yeah, so this is the church in Mexico. So you can see the lyrics. So that is Plotić. That is my mother tongue. It is. You probably can't read it, but it looks very different. It sounds very different. I say it's a dialect. Some people would argue with me and say it's already a language, but for me it's a dialect because it's just a bunch of languages thrown together into one. So it's Dutch, English, German, by now Spanish already as well, and then they just made up a dialect or a language or whatever. But yeah, the lyrics there, that is in Plotić. It says, and I bid thee on, so it says, and I praise you. Yeah. And I bid thee on, that's how you read that. What? Raylie Verian van Loma Plata from Paraguay. There you go. My name is Verian, I'm from Loma Plata from Paraguay. Next one, please. Yeah, so these are the pastors of the church, the main pastors. His name is Jacob. What was her name? Come on. Okay, we don't remember. She has a name though. But this is the pastor couple of the church. Really, really nice people. Here they took us out to a steakhouse. They wanted to show me that Mexican meat is as good as Paraguayan, but I was disappointed. But but yeah, they're really nice people. Next one, please. Yes.
So this is from the same church in Mexico that we went to. And every year they do this youth retreat, and they drive for like 5 hours in these sketchy mountain roads. And they stay at this camp in the middle of the mountains of Mexico. And they invited us to come and speak to the youth and see if anybody wanted to come and do our school. And it was really, really beautiful. You can kind of see in the background, it's like vibrantly green and very pretty. And there was probably 50, what do you think, like 50? People that came? Yeah. Oh, like 200. Really? Okay, I guess like 200 youth that came. And we were there for a few days and we got to minister to them. And this is actually where we met our student that decided to come for our school from Mexico.
Oh yeah. This was when we were already, and we're going to talk about this in a bit, but when we started our Plotić DTS or our Mennonite DTS, whatever, we were already in the Chaco, and one of my best friends, he got married on the other side of Paraguay, and if he wanted to drive there, it would be like a 12-hour drive and then 12 hours back. So, and we didn't have that time because we had to start the school. So where I grew up, there's a lot of people that have these little Cessna planes, and they just they have them as a hobby. Some do it for their job, and I started asking how much it would cost if they would fly us there. So I asked like 3 or 4 people, and it cost us more than to come here. Actually, I think it was like 2,000, 2,500, something like that. So it was ridiculous. So I was already getting ready to text my friend, hey, look, I don't think I'm going to make it to your wedding because it is just too expensive. We cannot pay it, and then we also cannot drive because we don't have time to drive. And then there was one more person. He's actually a friend of ours, and I know him, and he knows me since I've been little. And he is also a pilot, and I asked him how much it would cost. And he said, well, I'll just fly you guys there. I'll do it for you guys. I have some friends there. And so he flew us there, and it's just a little testimony of how God cares about our needs and what we actually also want, because I really wanted to go to my best friend's wedding. So he took care of it, and he flew us there in this little plane. It was like a 3-hour flight, something like that, 3.5 hour. Yeah, it was beautiful. Next one, please. So this is at the wedding. So we made it. We didn't crash. We made it alive to the wedding, and we also made it back. Yes. So this is another of those nights that Raylie talked about earlier, where we partner up with a local church, and this is the same with Discover as well. This is just in a different part. Here we actually had like 200 to 300 kids showing up, and I had a privilege to share there as well. But there it was really, really hot, because you see the roof, it's just like metal, and then the floor is cement. So if the sun has been burning on the roof all day, 115 degrees, then obviously it's not going to be nice and fresh under there. So by the time we started our thing, it was like 112 under there, and it was like 8 at night. So everybody was just sweating. It was so hot under there, but it was amazing still. Yes, next one, please. Yeah, same night. That's the team that we went with. So we had a whole worship team. We had other people that helped, and yeah, that's the whole crew. Yes, next one.
So for our Plot DTS, we decided to do it in the colony where Verian grew up, and the population is big, but it's more like a farming community. So there's not. Yeah, it's kind of like Custer. So a lot of people live outside on farms, and then there's like a small downtown area with some grocery stores. And there's not many big buildings where you could have a school in. So we were looking around a lot, and luckily we found a house. And this is where we did our Mennonite DTS. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, kind of. That one did not work. And we had 14 people living in that house, and we had, in the living room, we had our classes. So it was pretty interesting. We were really lucky to find a house. It's brand new. The guy who just built, they just finished it before we went. So we were really lucky to find a nice place. And it was very close to an ice cream shop, so I think our students walked every day to the ice cream place, because it was 110 almost every day we were there. So yeah, and Paraguay, especially this part of Paraguay, the power cuts out multiple times a day. So you're in this small house with no air conditioning, and so ice cream was a necessity. So yeah, so we had our school here for the last 3 months, and right now, actually, that same school is on their outreach in different parts of Paraguay, and they just came back from their part in Bolivia. So, no, they're still in Bolivia? Okay, I guess they're still in Bolivia, and they're coming back to do their outreach in Paraguay. And they finished their school in February 17th is their graduation from this school.
Yeah, so this house was another story of how God provides, because usually people don't want to rent out a house, first of all, not for 3 months. Usually in Paraguay, I don't know how it is here, but in Paraguay, they want to make a contract for a year. So we couldn't really find anything. And then second, the moment I told them we're going to have 15 young people living in this house, everybody was like, no. Because obviously they all think they're going to destroy my house, right? But this guy, it was one of the local churches we partnered up with, and the pastor already, we knew him. So I asked him, and he already had almost promised it to someone, but then he heard that we were going to come, and he canceled it, and he gave it to us so we could use it. So it was amazing. Yeah, it was an amazing testimony how God provided that as well for us. Yes, next. Yeah, so that's the welcome day, the arrival day. So we got 6 students. We had one, I think, can you go to the next picture? No, just go back. Yeah. And we had one girl from Germany, the guy from Mexico that Raylie said. We had 3 from Bolivia and 1 from Paraguay. So we only had 6 students, but we had a lot of nations in those 6 students. So it was an amazing group. So this was arrival day. It was nicer that day. As you can see, it's a little cloudy, so it wasn't as hot. And everybody's wearing jeans, so it cannot be that hot. Next, please. So every Thursday night, we would have a gathering, and there was an open night where the people from the community could come as well. It was like a service where we had worship and a preaching with the speaker of the week. So we had this little room as well that an older guy gave to us to use. It used to be a store, but now he gave it to us to use it for our night services. So we had around, I would say, 20 to 30 people showing up every Thursday, so that's amazing as well. Next one, please. Yes, here you can see it's almost full. There's still some little chairs empty, but yeah, that was amazing. That was every Thursday. Yes. Oh yeah, so that is our team. Almost all of them, not all of them. So the guy on the bottom with the big beard, the red beard, that looks like he's from Ireland or something, he's actually from Mexico. So that is the guy that we found at the youth camp in Mexico. His name is Juanito. He doesn't look like a Juanito. He looks like a big Juan. But we met him in Mexico at a youth camp. He's a really nice guy, really sweet guy. And then the other two on the bottom, they're both from Bolivia. They're both from traditional Mennonite colonies. And then obviously that's me. And then the girl is also from Bolivia with a yellow shirt. The one in the back is from Germany. That big guy in the middle, his name is Bram with a big beard. He is our bass director, actually, and that was his week of teaching. He's from the Netherlands. No, the back one is not from Germany. She's from Bolivia as well. Yeah, the one, the white shirt is from Germany. The pink one is Paraguay. The red one is Paraguay. And then all the rest are from Paraguay. Yes, next, please.
So for this school, we had how many staff do we have? Like 9?
20 people total.
Yeah, so we had very few staff, and we were living in a house, and that house didn't have a kitchen. So Varian and I rented a house nearby, and I would cook in our house for 20 to 25 people on this very small gas stove, and then I would drive it to the house that we were staying at. So this is one of the meals I would make. Paraguay is very different. We don't have you make everything from scratch. There's not frozen foods, canned foods. So that was my job during the school. Well, one of the main jobs, that I would get up every morning and I would make food, drop it off, eat, and then go back into it again. So every day, every meal except for breakfast, and then Saturday dinner and Sunday I would make food. So.
Yes, her food was amazing. She's a really good cook. So this is, what is this called again? Ratatouille. So it's from the movie. If you haven't seen it, this is from the movie. It's the same thing. It's delicious. And the stove, the gas stove that she was talking about, had 4 tiny burners like this. And it was not really strong. And the oven, you would fit one big plate in it. Yeah, one pie pan you would fit in there. So if you want to make food for 20 people, she had to do it over again. So yeah, it was amazing though. Next one, please. This was one of our outreaches that we did every weekend. So here we went to a school. That's actually a school for the people that work on the ranches and that don't have let's say access to the public schools because they're too far away. So these people they have a school for the farmers that live outside for their kids. So we went there one weekend. We played soccer with them. We played games with them. We had a little service or something. So yeah, it was amazing. Next one, please. Yes, same place. Here we play soccer. Paraguay, basically all of Central and South America. Soccer is the biggest thing you do all day, every day. So same as all your basketball, baseball, American football. That's soccer for us, so yes. You want to do this? Okay. So also what we do in our schools, we always give the opportunity if someone wants to get baptized. Maybe some of them even have been baptized, but it was maybe somebody forced them. Maybe it was through pressure from someone. Maybe it was because we have a lot of Catholics. Maybe it was as a baby. So we always give the opportunity to be baptized, and some of them have never been baptized. So here, this is in a water pond at my dad's farm, so it's definitely not clean water. There were no crocodiles there, so nothing happened. But so the guy there, that's a guy from Mexico, but the one in the blue shirt, that is his brother, so it's not the same guy. But he flew from Mexico to Paraguay just to baptize his brother. So he came for, I think, 4 days, yeah, just to baptize his brother, and then he flew back to Mexico. But yeah, there we baptized, I think 2 or 3, something like that. Yeah. Next one, please.
So these are some more pictures of our discipleship school we had. And here on the bottom right, you can see this is what our class looked like every day in the living room of this house. So not a lot of space, but we made it work for us and ended up being a really, really good school. And our students grew a lot, which was really exciting. And on the top there, you can see a better picture of some of our staff and our students. So.
That's yours.
Okay. So another thing we did, this is one of my favorite parts of our school, is we have these extreme encounters, we call them. Team building. So we don't tell our students anything. We just tell them, put these things in a bag, and then we take them, and we took them to this ranch in the middle of nowhere and gave them a tarp and said, all right, build your house, and you'll be here for a couple days. And no, they didn't even know for how long. And we gave them some rice and some potatoes and a pot. And throughout the days, we had planned like a whole lot of team building activities. They had their own goat they had to take care of, and then at the end they had to slaughter the goat for all of us to eat and share. And at the beginning, they were not very happy. They were not excited. But towards the end, a lot of them were sharing that they felt like they grew a lot and they were able to work together a lot better as a team, which was really important because most of them are from different countries and never knew each other before. And it's really important to work together when you're on outreach. So this was some pictures from our extreme encounter. On the left one, they're leading their own prayer night, and then in the top right one also, and then the bottom right one, they're cooking the goat that they had to butcher. So
Yeah, so the goal with this, it's like if you have ever seen Survivor, the TV show, it's kind of like that, just for a couple days. And the goal with this is that they get to work together in teams. So what we do is we take the person that's the most passive and introverted person, and we put them as a leader, because obviously we give them the opportunity to choose their own leader, and obviously they will always choose the one that speaks the most and looks and acts like a leader. So we turn it around. So it is definitely difficult because the other people, they cannot say what to do. The leader has to say what to do, and it just helps to work as a team. And so the goat, they had to name it. It was named Lenny. They had to take care of the goat. They have to give it water and food. And at the end of, I think, of the second or third day, they had to slaughter it. I gave them an idea how the Old Testament worked. But there were those two guys that are cooking the goat right there. When I told them that you have to slaughter your goat, those two were smiling. And I was like, and the rest of them, they're all like, just those two are like, where's the knife at? So both of them, they're both hunters, and they both love to do it. So, but yeah, at the end, it was amazing. They cooked the goat. It was really good. If you've never had goat is delicious. So yeah, it was an amazing time. Yes. Oh, so this is already on their outreach. So this must have been a couple of weeks ago, actually, or a month ago. And as you see here, it looks like Amish, but it's not. Those are Mennonites. There's a difference. But this is where a lot of our students come from. So on the bottom picture, you see they have their overalls, they have their hat, they have their horse and buggy, because they're not allowed to drive a car, they're not allowed to wear normal clothes like we do. And they don't have phones, they don't have electricity. So it's a lot like the Amish, but they're just really traditional and really religious. So it's really funny actually. The Mennonites, first of all, the way the Mennonites started was during the Reformer. So it was obviously they're Christians, right? So they believe in Jesus. But the funny thing is nowadays, or the most traditional ones, they are against it. So if we go in and we preach the gospel, they will sometimes spit in our faces, they will laugh at us, they will throw rocks at us. So they're really against it. And so, but we still go there because we know that we have to go there. So this is in Bolivia. This is in one of the colonies. Bolivia has around, I don't know, more than 100 of these colonies. And our students went there, they preached the gospel to them, and they evangelized there. And the funny thing, though, is that the young people, on the weekends, you will always find them on the road, all drunk and everything, but they're always so hungry. When we start preaching, they're always so hungry for the Word of God. So it is amazing. It is really sad to see, but at the same time it's amazing. And my colony, it is not like that. My colony, so you have different levels of Mennonite colonies. My colony is already more, I would say, like this, just a really strong religious spirit still. So we have cars, we have phones, we have electricity, we have everything. Just the religious spirit is still really strong there. But yeah, so this is on outreach. This is what they're doing right now. And I think tomorrow or the day after they come to Paraguay, yeah. But is there another one or is that it? That's it? Okay, awesome. Well, that's just a little couple pictures of what we've been up to in the last year. There are many, many more stories, and we would love to share more and more with you. So Raylie's going to share a little bit what we're going to do the 25th, actually. But before she does it, I want to share the numbers that we reached and everything that we've seen this last year. So in 2023, we reached 17,797 people. Out of those, 3,337 of them gave their life to Jesus. In total, we visited 1,842 houses. So what we do a lot is we go house to house, we clap or we knock on the door, and we ask them if they have time to talk. I know it probably wouldn't work as good here. Maybe they would shoot you, maybe they would not. but Paraguayans don't have as many guns as they do in South Dakota, so so we can do it. And actually, they always invite us in. They gave us food and everything, so it's amazing. And then we distributed 1,026 Bibles. So one of our main points also is obviously to reach all Paraguay with the gospel, but at the same time that every house has a Bible, because there are so many houses that don't have a Bible or that don't have access to a church. So what we do while we go out and preach the gospel, we always distribute Bibles. We always have some Bibles in our backpack, and we hand them out. And also at the same time, we work with, so we also do is partner up with local churches, and we partner up with 57 local churches. And what the churches do, they do the follow-up, because we only come in for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a little longer sometimes. But after that, there needs to be a follow-up. So that's what the local churches do. We connect the person that we reach to the local church, and then the local church takes care of that person so that that person actually grows in faith. So, yes. And I think that's it from numbers. Yes. Here.
So I just want to share, I know they mentioned in the announcements, the 25th of this month, that's a Thursday night, Verian and I are hosting, we want to call it a gratitude night. So we know we are not here very often. We come like once a year. And we know a lot of people have like been praying for us and giving to us. And so we want to host a gratitude night. So anybody from the church, if you guys want to come, or if you guys want to invite anybody from outside that you think would be interested in what we're doing or want to hear more, we're going to have like some Paraguayan food and appetizers at 5:30, and then we're going to show some more pictures, stuff from our lives personally that we're doing, and also some more stuff from our base, and also like some pictures and videos of different Paraguayan cultures, and just how life in Paraguay is. So we just want to share this with you more. We want to open more opportunities for communication between people who are wanting to know more, like on a more normal basis, not just when we come to the U.S. So we want to invite you guys all there. It's going to be here at the church starting at 5:30. And we are going to provide Paraguayan food and drinks and stuff, but we're going to have a dinner after, so we have a little sign-up sheet if anybody's interested in bringing a soup or a salad or a dessert. We're going to do like a potluck for dinner. If you guys want to sign up, I'll pass this around. And yeah, we just want to share, interact more with you guys, and connect to you. Also, if you guys are wanting to like see more of our base or more of our values and stuff, so just want to invite you to that.
Yes, and one more thing. What was I going to say now? Oh yeah, for this year, we also are working on a plan where we're going to bring our local churches to Paraguay, and I think, if I'm not wrong, it will be between June and July. So if you're interested in coming to Paraguay, well, we already talked to Pastor Joel a little bit as well, and we'll talk more. But if you're personally interested in coming to Paraguay, we're setting up a plan where that is going to be able this year, so that you guys actually have a better idea where we're at and see us and how amazing our meat is. And I promise you, once you try it, you're going to move there. Right, Mark? Mark is planning on selling his house and moving to Paraguay. No, just kidding. No, but yeah, we are really, really thankful that we are part of this family, of this church, and it's been amazing these last years. We really feel the support of you guys, the prayers, the financial support, whatever it is really important to us. And I always say this, that without that, what we do would not be possible. So we're just really thankful. We're thankful for all of you guys. And yeah, we just, like Raylie said, we just felt this year that we need to connect more personally with you guys, because usually we just share in the church, and then we're gone. Then we come back a year later, and you're like, oh, what happened with them? And so we're trying to get that gap down, and where we can connect with you personally. So if you're interested in it, you can come the 25th, or you can even just talk with us today or whatever. And we would love to just talk with you and yeah, call you guys or whatever, FaceTime you guys once a month or once every month, every other month or whatever. But yeah, we just want to connect with you guys personally, because we are really thankful. We're really thankful for everything. And yeah, so that is, I think that's all that we wanted to say. I think so, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, we invite all of you to, first of all, for this Thursday, and then next Thursday, the 25th as well, where we'll have our gratitude night. So all of you are invited, and also invite all of your friends and your enemies and your family, so that all of them are together in one room like Jesus wants it to be, right? So Pastor Joel asked us only one thing to do. The rest he said we could do whatever. And that was to pray for you guys at the end. And yes, so if there's anyone who needs prayer, if there's anyone who needs healing, physical healing, or wants to give their life to Jesus for the first time, maybe you've never done it, or you want to be filled with the Holy Spirit, we just want to open the floor to do that. We would love to pray for you guys. And yeah, if you have anything, any pain, I don't know if there's someone here with a left shoulder pain, or if there's someone here that has a kind of like a sore neck and you cannot really look around as much anymore, or a bad headache, or whatever it is, we just want to pray for you. And yeah, I'm just going to end us in prayer, and then whoever wants prayer from us, I don't know what you said.
The people who normally come up at the end can also come up and pray for people too.
Oh yeah, that as well. Yes, sorry, I didn't hear you. So yeah, I'm just going to close this in prayer, and then whoever wants prayer afterwards, they can come up front and we can pray for you. So Jesus, we just say thank you. We just say thank you for your goodness. We say thank you for everything you're doing, for everything that you've done. And yeah, we just give you all the glory. We give you all the honor. And yeah, Lord, I just say thank you for everyone that is even just here today. And Holy Spirit, I pray that you would speak to them, that you would encounter them, and that this year, 2024, would be a year where they get to know you better and better every day. It would be a year where they draw so near to you, to the throne room, to in front of your feet, that it would just fall in love with you every day more and more. So Jesus, we just say thank you, and I even say thank you for the privilege and for the honor that we have to share here, to be part of this church, to be part of this family. And yeah, Lord, I just want to bless everyone. I just pray protections over everyone as they go home or whatever they're doing. And I just pray for this week. There will be an amazing week. And I even pray for opportunities where we can share the gospel with someone else out there, Lord, that needs it and that needs you. So, Jesus, I just bless everyone. I just pray this in your name. Amen. Amen.